Hi, I'm Adam Yenser, and welcome to the Canceled News. It's like a conservative weekend update, but sometimes it's funnier, and sometimes it's not as funny, and sometimes it's exactly the same as funny. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and please share these videos anywhere you think people might enjoy them. I think last week's episode must have gotten shared somewhere because there was a huge jump in viewership. I mean, look at that. It's like watching Biden votes come in at 3 a.m. after the mail has stopped and the polls are closed. There's just no explanation for it. If you want to come see me live, I'll be at the Great American Comedy Festival in Johnny Carson's hometown of Norfolk, Nebraska, June 16th to 18th. Now here's what's in the news. At a convention this week, Stacey Abrams, the Democratic candidate for governor of Georgia, called it, quote, the worst state in the country to live. And according to Star Trek, Stacey Abrams will one day become president of Earth by declaring, it sucks worse than Uranus. Speaking of Uranus, a contestant on the new season of Naked and Afraid grew tomatoes in the Amazon using seeds he pooped out after eating them prior to the show. Which is a good idea, I guess, but he still hasn't explained how he wound up with a pet gerbil and 2 ounces of cocaine. In a new interview, Caitlyn Jenner said that Kanye West was difficult for Kim Kardashian to live with, but that Pete Davidson treats her great. Finally, something Pete Davidson is good at. The origins of the recent monkeypox outbreak in Europe have been traced to a gay sauna in Spain. The disease is believed to have jumped from animals to humans through this monkey, by Curious George. Health experts researching the virus originally had a hard time determining whether the men at the sauna were gay or just European. Now, even though monkeypox is survivable and only 9 cases have been found in the US, this is obviously the next global pandemic, and we should all reconsider lockdowns and go back to living in constant fear. As a responsible member of the media, it's my job to help spread this fear. So I'm going to add one of those scary counters on the screen that traces the numbers of deaths and cases like they did with COVID. Now, the CDC wants me to note that although monkeypox is primarily spreading through sex among gay and bisexual men, it is not a gay disease. So we shouldn't associate it with the gay community in a way that stigmatizes them. Now back to the news. An Iraqi citizen living in Ohio was arrested for plotting to assassinate former President George W. Bush. He was seeking revenge for what he called, quote, the wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. What's that? Oh, my mistake. I'm being told it was actually George W. Bush who called it that. The premiere of Baz Luhrmann's Elvis received a 12-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival. So the film Elvis did well at Cannes, but the real Elvis died on the can. A SpaceX flight attendant alleges that Elon Musk exposed himself during a massage, then offered to buy her a horse in exchange for sex. Obviously, I refused, she said, then galloped off into the sunset. Ex-NFL player Brandon Langley was arrested for punching a United Airlines employee at the airport, although there is some debate over who swung first. And I'm not going to judge. It's like the Bible says, let he who has never wanted to punch a United employee at the airport cast the first stone. Longtime statesman and foreign policy expert Henry Kissinger said that in order to end the war in Europe, Ukraine must give Russia some territory. And it can't be that ruined mutated radioactive part either. Delaware's Democratic Governor John Carney vetoed a bill that would have legalized marijuana in the state, which would have been the first fun thing to do in Delaware. The Fender Mustang guitar Kurt Cobain used in the Smells Like Teen Spirit video sold at auction for $4.5 million. Cobain's estate plans to use the money to pay off that kid whose penis they exposed. London Breed, the mayor of San Francisco, said she will not march in the city's Pride Parade this year unless police are allowed to wear their uniforms. She added the Indian, the cowboy, and the construction worker have to wear their uniforms too. A slasher film about Winnie the Pooh is being released after rights to the character became public domain. The film is rated R for violence and because Winnie the Pooh is pantsless the whole time. Several CNN employees expressed outrage that host Jake Tapper stayed in the office and taped his show after testing positive for COVID. So that's why they used that CNN positive logo for a week. A female skateboarder is speaking out after Lillian Gallagher, who is transgender, won the $5,000 first place prize in Red Bull's Women's Skateboarding Championship. So congrats to Lillian, who went from getting railed on Grindr to grinding rails. Scientists have developed a remote-controlled crab-shaped robot that is tinier than a flea, so now we know what's going in the monkeypox vaccine. Walmart apologized after facing backlash for a new Juneteenth-flavored ice cream. They're replacing it with the new flavor Gentrifugcation, which is mostly chocolate but has more and more vanilla in it each time you buy it. Kevin Spacey has been charged with 4 counts of sexual assault against 3 different men in England. I didn't go near those gay European men, said Spacey. Good luck with that.